Hey everybody, long time no see. Hope you're doing good. I've been doing pretty alright. I've been busy, you know how it is. You get old, you get busy and shit. But I haven't done a beer review in a while. I had one stored up. I was gonna upload it today, but I smashed my phone recently, and so I don't have access to the old recording software I was using, so I can't access that video. And I don't have access to my YouTube account. But if you're seeing this video, that means that I did get access to my YouTube account, and maybe I'll be doing some more videos. But anyways, I have still been drinking beer. I still love beer, but I don't really buy new beer so much anymore. I just kind of buy cheap beer, I'm on a budget. That's just the way it is. But if you remember, August of last year, I uploaded a review of the Old Stock Ale, and in the beginning of the video, I said, now the box did say that you're supposed to age it at least a year. It gets better when it's aged, and they said at least a year. But this is the 2021. I'm not going to fucking sit around. I don't have space to leave this anywhere for a year. So I'm just going to fucking drink it. I fucking lied, okay? So right here, we have a 1-year-old bottle of 2021. You see it up on the top, 2021 Old Stock Ale. That's right. I aged it. I did it. I persevered. I moved and I brought them with me. I got a 4-pack. I haven't had any of them yet. This is the first one I'm going to crack open. We're going to check it out together. Now, if you don't remember anything about Old Stock Ale, like I didn't half an hour ago, you should go watch my Old Stock Ale review. It's not that good. I'm kind of stiff. But I think this is going to be a better video. Did you hear that? That's a whole year of fucking pressure building up in there. So, my main concern here is that I've been keeping these beers in the cabinet next to my oven for the last year. And I'm a little afraid that the heat from the oven may have tampered with the beer a little. Oh, it smells good. It smells really good. So, I actually have had a few aged beers in the last year. My dad has a friend who's a very serious beer collector. He just collects them and looks at them. But he had a bunch of stouts that he didn't want anymore. He needed to make room for new things to collect. So he donated me a bunch of aged stouts that he had. I drank a lot of those. Got really fucked up on them. And they're really good. But I got kind of burned out on them for a while. But this isn't a stout. It's an old ale. So it's going to be different. And I'm going to know what I'm talking about today too. Now I will say that I don't entirely remember that Old Stock Ale from a year ago. I do remember it was really good. I remember it was kind of heavy. I remember it was sweet. I remember it was really, really good. It was like one of the best beers I had last year. So, given my vague memory of the old stock and my new experience with aged beer, I think we're going to have a pretty interesting review here today. So, as you can see, I'm doing the same glass, same beer. This is the last one. This is about the same color, reddish brown, brownish red. Got better lighting in this new apartment, hey. It smells. If you remember that Monk's Cellar review I did, 12.9%. This is not your grandma's beer. We're not doing fucking high school kid party beer reviews. That was a really strong beer, and it had like a whiskey kind of note to it. What was it? No, it was brandy. Like a brandy kind of note. And barley wine kind of gets that too because of the high percentage. And also because of the barrels it's aged in, it gets that fruity, dark fruity kind of note to it. And this totally has that. And that makes sense because when you're aging beer in the bottle, it generally loses its carbonation, which this one still seems to have a bit of. The beers I was drinking were like 2 or 3 years old, and they were basically flat. But this is definitely stronger smell. I don't remember it smelling like this. And that's because it still ages in the bottle and it gains a higher percentage. So that uh, alcoholic smell comes from the extra alcohol. Very, very similar to that Monk Cellar. That's what I'm getting from this. Dark notes, but mostly fruity notes. High percentage notes. I had an aged barley wine that was really good, but older than this, like I said. Great beer, though. I'm surprised the color hasn't really changed at all. It seems to be about the same. It's that reddish brown. Probably not any different from the last one. Like I said, if you want to have something to compare this to, you should watch my other review of that old stock I did last year. But cheers. Let's get to it. Interesting. That's very interesting. Let's see. Hang on. First of all, this is 11% before it was aged. 11.2%. And I probably didn't cellar it under the best conditions. It just stayed way in the back of a cabinet, like I said, right next to the oven. Probably wasn't the best idea in hindsight. I didn't even think about that until today. But it's good. The flavor is really smooth. It's really subtle. You do get a little bit of that brandy kind of taste, like that Monk Cellar had, but it's not as overpowering. I don't remember how strong that Monk Cellar was. 12.9%, but it's probably comparable. It's sweet. You get a little bit of a roasted character with it. Almost a maple note. Not only does it taste a little more alcoholic, but you can kind of feel it. Feels a little hotter in the chest, you know? But this is a good beer. I haven't had, I'll be honest with you, I've been drinking a lot of Kona Longboard Lager, actually. And a lot of Dust Bowl Taco Truck and Taco Truck Amber. And Fat Tire. And that's kind of been it. But this is really refreshing. Having something with a lot more character in it. Not saying that Taco Truck's not a good beer, specifically, because I wanted to review Taco Truck and just never got around to it. I might still do it. Really full body. Not very highly carbonated. I don't know how well you can see, but there's still a little bit of foam on that side. And we still have a little bit of bubble coming up in the middle. But the bubbles even seem slower. Surprisingly. But it's cool. It might have lost some of its potency flavor-wise during the aging, which kind of isn't supposed to happen. But the flavor it has is really good. This is a gentleman's beer for sure. This is like that Monk Cellar. This is some gourmet shit. This is an adult beverage. I'm almost getting some vanilla. Maybe the littlest bit of coffee in there. It doesn't say on the label, by the way. I'm not reading the label like a cheater. Maybe the littlest bit of coffee in there, but creamy, sweet kind of vanilla mixed with a little bit of toasted malt mixed with a little bit of brandy, fruity alcohol. That's probably the best way I could describe this. Very interesting character. So I can't remember if I mentioned this or not in one of my last reviews, but for Christmas, I got the Beer Bible, 2nd edition. This is a super cool book. It's a big book. It's got a lot of information on a lot of beer. Thank you, Jay, for getting me this book because I love it. I still check it out every once in a while when I get a new style. I've already gone over everything that I like, you know, but see that's all the styles. I think we got some more. Yeah, see we even got a few more new styles in the back there. Lots and lots of beer in here, and I actually did read some about the old ales, and I don't think it was anything different from what I told you guys about them before. It's the same thing. They're always like 5% or higher. They're always aged and can be aged more. But there's a big section in the beginning of this beer Bible that talks about tasting beer and kind of tasting beer with more technique and how to taste beer like a beer taster would. And I think since I've read that, I've been able to discern a lot more of the characteristics in the beer that I drink. I think I can give better reviews, but I also think it makes me a little more nerdy and boring when I'm reviewing beer. But I think I nailed all the points on this one. Creamy vanilla, little bit of toast, almost cherry, wine-esque, brandy-esque. Rich, old. It's a good beer. And I would guess, I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm not going to check the gravity of the beer. But I wouldn't be surprised if this went up from like 11.2 to 12%, which was strong enough in the first place, you know. But that's pretty strong. I think the strongest beer I've ever had was like 16%. That was 16% in the can. That was one of those old ones I got. So it was 16 before sitting in the can for 2 or 3 years. I didn't even finish it. That thing kicked my ass. But I think more people should age their beer. If you're into this style of beer, anyways, if you like barley wines, which are damn near the same thing, barley wines, old ales, porters, and stouts, buy a 4-pack of something cool that you like and put it in the back of a cabinet away from your oven for like a year or so and try it again. And then maybe save another one and then come back to it a year later and try that one. That's a great idea. I might do that with this, but I might just cave and drink all of them. Maybe I'll get the 2022 Old Stock Ale, review that, and then review it again in 2023, huh? That's cool beer. My dad would like that. But I think that's all I got for this one. So if you enjoyed my video, if you're glad I'm back, leave me a like. Maybe I'll keep doing it. Maybe I'll just keep doing my thing, you know? But this was fun. I had fun. It's good to see you. Have a great Monday, probably. Have a great Monday. Have a great rest of your week.